Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It is myself, Pamela Froze, and I have the honor and privilege of my sweet friend, Rebecca, on here to teach you guys about essential oils made easy. So I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit. If I am new to many of you, I am a mom of 4 kids, and we live on our family farm in Niagara, Canada. And we have been incorporating essential oils for the past nearly 5 years now. And they have made a tremendous impact on our life. And I'm just always loving being able to share with many of you. And I am excited to have Rebecca here. She is a dear friend, a fearless leader of mine, and a wealth of knowledge. And I am just so excited to just hop on to this workshop with you guys and share all the little tips and just the simple ways of using essential oils and to not overcomplicate it, because that's one thing I definitely stress in our home is just to make it super easy. So Rebecca, take it away.
Pamela, thanks so much. You are definitely a dear friend of mine, and I'm so lucky to be partnered with you in this. We love sharing essential oils, and I think this workshop is so extraordinarily fun because, like she said, it breaks things down to the foundational level. What do you really need to know to get started and feel certain and feel confident in using your essential oils? If you decide to use essential oils, that's really where we want to take you in this conversation today. So I will know that I have done a great job if I leave you knowing 3 cool things about essential oils, the 3 ways that you can use essential oils, because my guess is that you have probably known about 2 ways to use essential oils, but doTERRA actually introduces a 3rd element to that. And then at the end, we'll wrap things up by introducing to you some of the most value-oriented ways to get started with the oils, because usually at the end of this workshop, you're very curious about how to bring them into your home and get started using them right away. So we will get started, and if you have questions, certainly reach out to Pamela. She is your direct access to continuing education beyond today's conversation. So just know that you are supported now and you are supported ongoing. So we will get started with the 3 cool things about essential oils, and they are this. First of all, essential oils are extremely safe. In fact, they are 100% safe and natural. So if you've ever wondered if you can use them on babies, the answer is yes. Toddlers, yes. Kids of all ages, yes, you can. You can use them on adults, and you can use them on the elderly as well. So people who typically fell under what we might consider a sensitive umbrella, you can feel really confident with doTERRA knowing that they're 100% safe and natural. Now, when we get to the point where we're going to talk about how to use the oils, that's where you're going to want to pay really close attention, particularly if you're using them on babies or the elderly or someone who might be a little bit more sensitive. We'll talk a little bit about talk more about how we can make that process really easy and really smooth for you. So you should know that essential oils are extracts from plant life. They literally come from all parts of a plant. So sometimes it's the blossoms, the stems, sometimes even the bark of a tree. Basically, they're all part of some part of a plant, and they exist in the plant as protection. It's literally the plant's defense mechanism, and we are harnessing that power for our own health and wellness, and specifically our immunity. It's a very good thing to know that it is coming from such a natural source. It's even more important to know that with doTERRA, purity and potency are top of mind always. So as it relates to safety, when we're talking about something being pure, you will love knowing that this company tests every batch of their essential oils, every batch, not, once in a while, every batch, 54 different times. So I always say, if you know of another company who goes to those lengths to ensure purity, let me know. I mean, prove us wrong, because we're suggesting that we are the only company on the planet that goes to those lengths to ensure purity. 54 different times every single batch. When it comes to ensuring that we've got a quality raw ingredient, it's worth knowing that we access our materials from all around the world. So wherever that plant is grown indigenously is where doTERRA sources it from. We work directly with the farmers in that way. So there's a really great story. As the end consumer, we get a superior product. And on the other side of the bottle, there's a lot of opportunity that becomes apparent to those communities. So that's worth knowing as well. When it comes to potency, here's where things get fun. And if we were together in a room, what Pamela and I would do right now is we would take the lids off of peppermint and we would start passing peppermint around the room. And before it ever got to you, you would smell it because it's very, very potent. When it reached you, we would have you put a single drop in the palm of your hand. And that drop is going to go a long way because it's very pure and very potent. We would have you dip your index finger into it and swipe it on the roof of your mouth. Probably something you've never done before. So do that. And what you would notice immediately is that your sinuses will open right up. It demonstrates how quickly the oils go to work. What you will also notice is that you can take a nice deep breath right away. So your sinuses are open. You can take this nice deep breath. Everyone in the room starts to become more energized. And that's one of my favorite parts about being together physically. When peppermint comes around, it always gets the room buzzing because it just provides that energizing feeling to it. What we would also have you do, because there would be some residual left on the palm of your hand, you could massage it onto your temples or to the back of your neck, or any place really that you traditionally feel tension in your body. And what you would notice is, first of all, it cools the skin because you've felt it in your mouth now, and now you're about to feel it on your skin. And you would notice that the tension begins to melt away. We've had people come to classes before where they've had a long day at work and they're at this essential oils class and they've got a bit of a headache going on. Maybe they haven't eaten, tired, all those things that lend itself well to a headache. We pass peppermint around and we see a change, like a transformation happening right away. So it's pure and potent. And just to give a little more color around that, 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint would be like consuming 28 cups of peppermint tea. So essential oils are about 50 to 70 times more potent than their herbal counterpart. Something worth knowing. So anyways, that's the first cool thing about essential oils, is that they're really safe, 100% safe and natural. We'll move on to the second cool thing about the oils, and that is that they are very, very effective. I'm going to say something bold here. I'm going to say that they are more effective than modern approaches to health problems. So for some of you, that's going to feel interesting or pique your curiosity in some way. If you're a medical professional listening to this, first of all, I want to say thank you for all of the extra efforts that you're putting into your work right now. We are so super grateful to have you on the front lines, taking epic care of all of us. So I don't know where we would be without your efforts. I also want to ask you just for a moment if you can give me just a little bit of grace, because I'm going to take us back to Biology 101, just so that we can all really understand how the essential oils work in the body. So if you will, I'm going to pretend that my fist is a cell in the body. And we know we've got about 75 trillion of these guys making up our human body. Each one of those cells is coated with an oily cell membrane. And the role of that cell membrane is to protect the cell. It's meant to protect against invaders like bacteria and against virus. So we know that bacteria likes to live on the outside of a cell. We also know that virus likes to live inside of a cell and replicate the DNA on the inside of the cell. It's a real troublemaker. So when you go to your doctor and you have a bacterial infection, typically your physician will prescribe an antibiotic to you, right? And you'll take that antibiotic anywhere between 7 to 10 days, and you will get results typically. It will work. It'll do what it's meant to do, but it will also offer you some side effects that you might not be interested in. Antibiotics tend to suppress immunity throw hormones off, and in many cases can disrupt the gut flora to the point where you're experiencing uncomfortable symptoms like yeast infection. Those are things that you're not interested in when you're getting this kind of a prescription. Let's say, for example, though, you've gone to your doctor and you're presenting with viral symptoms. Maybe you've got a cold or you've got a flu. That physician, 99.9% of the time, is likely going to tell you you have a virus. There's not much that they can do for you, but they do recommend you go home and get lots of rest and drink lots of water. You've probably experienced this or know somebody who has. The reason for this, remember we mentioned before that the virus lives on the inside of the cell. Well, today's modern medicine is based with water, a water-based synthetic molecule. So that prescription won't work for you because remember, we talked about every cell, virus is inside here, inside the cell. We're coated with an oily cell membrane and we're being offered a watery synthetic molecule. Water and oil, they don't mix. So that synthetic molecule can never penetrate the oily cell membrane, getting inside the cell to kill the virus. That's what makes it so ineffective. And this is where essential oils are very effective. And I get very excited to share this with you because here's what you need to know. Essential oils are an oil base. They're oily. They work on a cellular level. So when you apply essential oils, they're able to permeate that oily cell membrane, meaning that they can get inside the cell and they are antiviral, therefore killing the virus inside the cell. We also know that they're antibacterial. So any bacteria living on the outside of the cell, it's able to take care of the bacteria as well. So this is what makes, and the other best part of that, one of the best parts of that, is that there are no side effects. Remember the yucky side effects that you could experience from the antibiotic? That doesn't happen with essential oils. And there are no risks of addictions using essential oils therapeutically. So that is what has them standing head and shoulders above many of the modern approaches to healthcare today, making them far more effective. So I hope that really illustrates that for you. In the picture on the screen here, we're showing the essential oil blend. Pamela, you can attest to this. This product has become famous. It was famous before, but it has really become a famous product, particularly with our current healthcare situation. People are seeking solutions that really work, and On Guard is a powerful solution to what we're facing these days. So it promotes healthy immune function. It can be used in situations where you've got a sore throat. It's great for cleaning your home. So it helps cleanse the body, helps cleanse your home. We clean our entire home with On Guard. I do our laundry with On Guard. And Pamela can explain more about that. There's a whole category of On Guard, but just know that it is a product that you do in fact want to ask more about. I'm going to move on to the third cool thing about essential oils, and that is that they are affordable. So this might come as a surprise to you, right? But they are, in fact, more affordable than traditional medical care. Again, I'm going to paint a picture, if you will. So I'm a mom of 3 kids, and my youngest, my daughter, she's a competitive swimmer. So one of the common occurrences, or more common than other things, is an earache, an ear infection, swimmer's ear, whatever you want to call it. I tend to think that this might be something that could creep up in any household, and it's a perfect example to illustrate this affordability piece. When Gabby would get her ear infections in the past, before I knew about essential oils as therapy, what I would have done was take her to see the doctor and get an antibiotic. And even though the visit itself is free, particularly if you're a Canadian, our visits to our doctors are free, which is a blessing, there's still the need to take time off of work to be able to take your child or whomever it is, maybe it's just yourself. You have to take time away from work. That's costly. You have to put gas in your car. And we also talked about the fact that your physician is very likely to prescribe an antibiotic to you, which we know the side effects. which would mean a cost associated with buying probiotics to take care of the side effects that the antibiotics may cause you. So the free visit to the doctor is not free when you boil it down and break it down in that way. In the situation that I'm giving you, or the example that I'm giving you with the earache, instead what I would do, now that I know the power of essential oils and I literally have them at my disposal whenever I need them, because if you're a mom, correct me if I'm wrong, but do kids not always get sick at the worst possible times? Like almost always in the middle of the night or some strange time, right? It's nice knowing you have the answers whenever they pop up. So in the situation in my house with the earache, I would use 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of tea tree oil, and I would massage it around her ear, not in her ear, but around her ear. And I would bring a little bit of it down her neck and I would put her to bed. We know how healing sleep is. And I've just used lavender that'll help her fall into a nice deep sleep and allow her body to begin healing itself. She will wake up the following morning and her earache will be gone. And that process would have cost me 64 cents for those drops of oil. So that is a beautiful example of the affordability piece. That's not even touching on how invaluable it is just to have the solutions in your own home. So they're very affordable. Those little bottles, they do look small, 15 ml bottles, they've got about 250 drops in them. And most of our recommendations are for a drop or 2 of any given essential oil. So that gives you an idea of how far one of those small bottles really goes. Now in the picture here, I'm showing lavender, and I've already mentioned lavender is very calming. It's supportive of sleep. It's also very calming to the skin. It can serve as an antihistamine. It serves a lot of purposes. In fact, lavender we often reference as the Swiss Army knife of essential oils because the list just goes on and on with what it's able to do. So those are the 3 cool things. They're safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. I'm going to move on now to the 3 ways that you can use your essential oils. And like I said, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the first 2, and we'll spend a moment at the end talking about the 3rd way that might be new to you. So first off, aromatically. I think this is, for most people, the very first way that they're introduced or begin using their essential oils. It does a lot of things for you, breathing in your essential oils. I just saw Pamela using them in her hand. She was just breathing in the essential oils. It affects your mood positively. It cleanses the air that you breathe. Remember we talked about the antibacterial and antiviral factor? Just imagine that diffusing in your home. Literally everyone in your home is reaping the benefits when it is diffused in your home. So you're really maximizing benefits by using essential oils. And it supports the respiratory system. So in today's current health situation, I know this is a priority for you. And I hope you begin, if anything, to start using your oils more often or bring them into your home. Such an easy thing to do. The one thing I get questioned about often, not often, but every once in a while, is so just smelling an essential oil is good for my health? And the answer is absolutely yes. And if you're curious about how it works, I'm just going to give you a quick medical example. If you're someone who has ever had surgery before and you've gone into the operating room, or if you haven't and you know someone who has, you know for sure that when you get into the operating room, they have to knock you out or put you under, or whatever you want to call it. And they don't do that with an injection, typically. They don't do that with a pill. What they typically do is place a mask over your face, over your nose, and they ask you to breathe it in. They're breathing in those synthetic molecules. What's happening is that you're activating the exact same system that we activate with our essential oils. So if you were to put your fingers right on the bridge of your nose, you would identify the place where your olfactory system begins, basically your sense of smell. So you would breathe something in, it hits that olfactory system and travels directly to the limbic part of your brain. Contained within the limbic part of the brain is the endocrine system. And that endocrine system is just waiting for information to send out to the rest of the body. So on every organ in our body, we have what we call smell receptors. And you can look that, I encourage you, look this kind of stuff up. These receptors are waiting for information that gets received from the endocrine system. So in the medical example, the message that's being received, you breathe it in, limbic system, endocrine system, out to the body. The message is, we got to shut things down. Something's about to happen here. We got to shut everything down. The same system is activated with essential oils. You breathe it in, olfactory system, limbic brain, endocrine system, message out to the whole body. So when we say a single drop affects every cell in your entire body, even just the aromatic consumption of it, now you know how that is activated. It is so powerful. And again, if you're having a hard time sort of connecting with that, think about something that you didn't enjoy smelling and how it made you feel. Did you get a headache? Did you feel nauseous? There is a message being received, sending out to the body, and a physical response happens. So I'm going to move on from the aromatic way to use their oils because you'll have lots of experimenting ahead of you with that. The second way that you can use your oils is topically. Do you remember back when we talked about the essential oils being safe and you can use them on anyone? This is where I wanted to pause for a moment and talk about how we can create a situation where typically sensitive people do not have to experience a sensitive response to using essential oils. So diluting essential oils is really an important thing to know about. So you can apply essential oils directly to wherever you need them. If you have a sore elbow or a sore knee, or you have tension in the back of your neck, you can apply it directly to those areas, but it's always best to dilute it first with a carrier oil. And that carrier oil can be, my favorite is fractionated coconut oil, because I like the way it absorbs into the skin. It doesn't leave your skin feeling oily afterwards. But you could also think about jojoba oil or avocado oil. There's lots of options available to you, and it's, again, your choice on how you do that. There's some dilution recommendations, how much carrier oil to how much essential oil, and that's something that Pamela can provide to you so that you feel really confident should you choose to use your oils topically. But everyone can use it, even little babies. Massage it on the bottoms of their feet. In fact, people of all ages, the bottoms of the feet are a great place to apply the oils topically. They have nice big pores. They're just waiting to absorb whatever comes in contact with them, and every cell reaps the benefits of you applying to the bottoms of the feet. You can also apply it to the abdominal area. If you're suffering with some kind of digestive discomfort or monthly discomfort, you can apply to the abdominal area. It's really, I know for my kids, it's their favorite way to use the essential oils. In fact, kids love it so much, and kids are so cool because they're not skeptical. They know how something makes them feel, and if it makes them feel good, they want to do it. So doTERRA was smart in this way. They actually have an entire kids collection that is pre-diluted. So in our home, my kids each have their own collection of kids oils that are pre-diluted, and then they use them as they see fit. Our goal is to empower people with solutions. When you start with kids at a young age, they feel so good about being able to be the solution to their own problem. If they've got a stomach ache, they're going to reach for the kids' oil, pre-diluted. It's called Tamer. They roll it across their belly or on the bottoms of their feet. That's a really cool thing for a kid to be able to experience for themselves, in a very satisfying moment for you as a mom or caregiver of any kind, to be able to see them find the answers for themselves. All right, I'm going to move on now to the internal ways that you can use doTERRA essential oils. Now, this is the way I'm sure for many people, because I've heard this before, they've always been told, don't use essential oils internally. If you're one of those people, you know what? Keep that piece of advice, because the only time that becomes different is if you choose to use doTERRA. Remember, we talked about every batch being tested 54 different times. this is where this becomes really important knowledge. It is absolutely certain that you are not consuming pesticides, you are not consuming plastic contaminants, you are not consuming residual anything when you choose to use doTERRA essential oils. And if you choose to use them as therapy internally, I know that is a big deal to you. If you want to explore more about how they validate that process, go to a website called source2you.com and you can explore at your leisure, or ask Pam for more information. She's going to defer you to that website anyways, because it is loaded with the best info and the proof that you need to feel really certain about using them internally. So other brands just don't do that. So the advice to not take things internally is important for you to keep in mind. So only doTERRA oils internally, please. Some of the ways that you can choose to use it internally, they're really easy. And as you begin to adopt some of these ideas, if you choose to do this, you will find that they will become just such part of a seamless routine in your lifestyle. So for example, have you ever cut up a lemon and squeezed it and put it in your water? Probably you have. So think about putting a single drop of lemon essential oil into your water. That bottle is simply made up of 45 cold pressed lemons. So what you're doing is providing your body with the potency and the purity of the lemon, all of the beautiful detoxifying effects, and you're having the enjoyment of lemon flavored water. Want to know a little side benefit here? I don't always share this one, but I've had many dental professionals in our physical classes, and they always say, we much prefer that you use the lemon essential oil as opposed to a sliced up lemon, because they come from different parts of the fruit. The essential oil comes from right underneath the rind, so you're not getting that acidic value that a sliced up lemon can have. So it's better for your teeth. If that's important to you, then that's a little side benefit. Another way that you can enjoy them internally is with these little, we call them veggie caps. And they're basically empty capsules that you can break open, put your essential oil in, and then consume it just like you would any other supplement. These are really valuable, I find, in our home with the essential oils that we don't love the flavor of. You want all of the therapeutic benefits, but you don't necessarily want to taste it. Okay, so that's a great way to do it. And they're really inexpensive. I think $5 or something like that for a nice big container of the veggie caps. Another way, a third way that you can do it, and I do this with my frankincense as well as an oil called copaiba, put it right under my tongue. All those capillaries underneath the tongue means that the oil gets absorbed really quickly and it's into my bloodstream right away. So, and it has all kinds of therapeutic value to doing it that way. So, pretty much everybody in our home consumes essential oils internally. The kids don't always know that they are, because we cook with our essential oils as well. It's another great way to take them in internally. My lemon blueberry muffins are actually made with lemon essential oil and not actual, like not cut up lemons. There's lots of little ways. Our spaghetti sauce has a drop of oregano essential oil. Again, another great way to take it internally. So you'll discover a lot of practical uses, and you'll be reaping the therapeutic benefits of using it this way. So those are the three ways that you can use it: aromatically, topically, and internally. I'm going to buzz through super fast some of the highlights of some of the oils that you're most likely to find in our starter kits. So we, in these Essential Oils Made Easy classes, we like to make everything easy for you. So you'll hear a lot of things and think, yeah, I want that, or I want to do this in my home. The very best way to access the oils in the most value conscious way is with a starter kit, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But these are the oils typically that make up these kits that make them so valuable, and they're definitely the top guns at doTERRA, without a doubt. Lemon, I've talked a little bit about already. Cleanses the body, great detoxifier, also great for detoxifying your home. Now, let me point out, see these little circle things here? These are also on your bottles. So if you listen to this class, you get some oils into your home and you kind of forget how to use your oils, It's great because these guys mean aromatically, topically, internally. So you never have to worry that you're using something incorrect. There's very few mistakes that you can make. And there is a label, a peel back label on every bottle that you can peel back with some directions on how to use it. So you will always have the answer right in your hand. Frankincense, hands down my favorite essential oil. It promotes calm feelings. It's superb for anti-aging efforts. So a lot of people I know will add it to their daily moisturizing routine. It helps cells perform optimally. And that's a very broad brush statement. What I love to do is to tell you, if you're a research person, if you're very science focused and you want to have your mind blown, I want you to go to a site called PubMed, PubMed. PubMed, you can look it up, and I want you to type in doTERRA frankincense, not just frankincense, but doTERRA frankincense. And it can tell you more there than what we ever could. It's a third-party research site, so most medical professionals are aware of that site, but as the public people, we do have access to it as well. DigestZen. In Canada, this one goes by a little different name. It's called ZenGest. But what you need to know about this is that it is great for all digestive discomfort. So nausea, motion sickness, any of those kinds of things. This is a staple in most homes. And while you might not need it every day, when you do need digestive relief, my goodness, is it ever nice to know it's available. Deep Blue. This is the oil that is associated with soothing aching muscles and joints. If you experience a lot of tension, you can use Deep Blue to help alleviate some of that tension from a headache. Many women will use it across the abdominal area for monthly discomfort, so it's great for a lot of different uses. Breathe also has a little bit different name in Canada. It's called Easy Air in Canada. What you need to know about this one is that this is our respiratory blend, and it has such a beautiful, uplifting, minty aroma to it. It's my husband's favorite oil. Even when there isn't a need for this one, he loves the smell so much that this is often in a diffuser. Great paired up with citrus oil, so nice. But it helps clear lungs and sinuses, and it's superb for promoting clear breathing. So if you have a cold or sinus issues, yes, it's perfect for that. But anytime you need to be focused on breath. So if you're a yogi, you're going to love this. If you are an athlete of any kind, you're going to love this because breath is everything. If you are into meditation, you may want to consider using Breathe during that because it opens up the airways in a way I can't describe until you get it in your hands. You'll notice it. You just have to take the lid off and you'll notice it. Wild Orange. This makes my mouth water every single time I talk about it. It is energizing and invigorating. It's diffusing here in my office as we speak. It's just an all-time mood booster. It's beautiful paired with a lot of other essential oils and has some really cool practical uses as well. Internally, this one added to your water, nothing short of delightful. Beautiful. So at this point, I'm going to pause because you've learned a lot about several oils, and it's a lot to digest all at once. So I'm going to ask you just to give some consideration to what your top health concerns are. So if you have a pen and paper, you might want to jot them down, or if you have a smartphone or something nearby, just pop 3 different things into that. I'm going to give you a little guidance here. A lot of times people's your health priority might not be your health. So maybe it causes you stress worrying about some pain and discomfort that your mom is experiencing. Write those things down because what's going to happen is when Pamela follows up with you, you are going to be able to have a conversation about these 3 things because they are your personal priorities. And then what we like to do for you is match you up with the best way to start. Because while all the kits are beautiful, wait till you see them, you're going to love them. I'm going to have you write down your favorite with that. There might be a place that's best for you to start, and we can sort of guide you in that direction. So I'm going to grab a drink of my tea and have you write those three things down. Okay, and we are doing really well for keeping on track time-wise too, guys. So if you're still writing things down, continue on doing that, and I will move forward. We offer these essential oil made easy classes quite often because we all have to start somewhere, right? It just wouldn't be a 101 or a basics class without introducing you to doTERRA's very, very top product. And it's probably going to surprise you to know that we're an essential oils company, but our top product is not an oil. In fact, it's a supplement. So they're called LLV for short, which stands for Lifelong Vitality Supplements. And if you are somebody who is already supplementing, I want you to know that you represent the perfect person to try these supplements because you have a framework, you have a benchmark, you know how other things have worked for you in the past. So there is zero risk to you giving this a try. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. If you're someone who doesn't supplement, we should be friends because it took me it took me a long time to get into the supplementing game. I had supplements in my home, but I was very I wasn't sticking to any kind of routine, so I wasn't getting the benefits of using the supplements. You too are a perfect person to experience these supplements because you don't have to wait forever to see results from them. So no risk at all. And here's what I mean by that. doTERRA believes so deeply in the effectiveness of these supplements that they're willing to offer a full money back refund if you don't experience increased energy or less pain. Okay, so most of us will invest in supplements at some point in time. I don't know of any place that'll give you all your money back after you've followed the instructions and used it entirely for a month. But doTERRA does because the belief is that deep in how well these can support your health and wellness. What I love about these supplements, because I'm not going to get into all the details of it, I want you to explore this for yourself or have a conversation with Pamela about it, because I bet you somewhere in those 3 top health priorities that you wrote down, the need for this type of product is probably there in some capacity. Maybe not, but my guess is probably yes. They're based on food nutrition, so clinically studied, researched food nutrition, but it's also paired with the powerful effects of essential oils. And the 2 things that really stand out to me about the oils being part of the supplements are this. 1, many people who use supplements experience digestive discomfort, particularly in the beginning. So they sometimes bail on using them because it doesn't make them feel good. So using essential oils infused in these supplements allows for the stomach to be settled, for the digestive system to receive the benefits of these supplements in a very gentle way. I love that piece of it. Also, the essential oils that are infused in these products make the product themselves more bioavailable. If you're a supplementer and you've ever invested in expensive supplements and have noticed that it seems like you're peeing out the benefits, that does not feel good to you. You feel like you've wasted your time and your money, and that's not a great space to be in. Lifelong Vitality supplements are very bioavailable, and therefore your body is able to absorb the benefits in an extraordinary way. But don't take my word for it. The risk-free guarantee is there, so you can do this on your own at some point, even if you don't start with it, but you add it to your cart maybe the following month, but sometime soon. This is definitely worth your time and energy and your investment. Okay, so we've been through a lot of stuff. Let me get to the good stuff where we could talk about the ways that you can get started with the oils or the supplements or whatever, and then you make a decision based on where you're at. So the first way you can get started is really not something many people take advantage of. You can buy it at retail, but that's actually paying full price for it. So you're typically going to find that in places like a salon or a professional setting like a chiropractor's office. They have to charge full retail. A better way to get started is with a wholesale membership. And the best way to describe this is very much like Costco, where you pay a fee up front, a membership fee, and they give you access to all of the very best products, and you always get a wholesale price on it. There's no expectation for you to shop at Costco every month or to spend a certain amount at Costco every month. It's totally your call because you're a member. doTERRA's membership works exactly the same way. You pay $42 in Canada or $35 in the US, and you have access to the best, coolest stuff, always at a discounted price. Okay, that's the way that works. But the third way is, in fact, the smartest way to get started, and it's what we kept alluding to earlier in the conversation. This is starting yourself out at less than wholesale pricing, and I know that's got to sound good. So you can identify with a starter kit. I'll show them to you in just a moment. Those starter kits, if you were to break down the oils in each of them, are less than wholesale pricing. You get your membership for free. Okay, so no $42 or $35 fee added to it. And immediately you are part of this community that is more than you could ever wish for, full of education, full of support, full of whatever it is that you really need. So those are the three ways to buy. It's very easy to see what the smartest way is. So let me show you what those kits are. Notice I did not put the prices on here. Not trying to be sneaky. I'm just really aware of the fact that people watch these classes from all over the world, and the price fluctuates based on where you're watching from. So instead of focusing on the price, I want to invite you to look at what's in the kit and write down the name of the kit that excites you most, that you're most enthusiastic about. This is the big guy. I started with the big guy. It's called the Natural Solutions Kit. And you can see here, it is well equipped with a nice assortment of essential oils, the ones we talked about, plus many more. It also comes with personal care products, a diffuser. It comes with lifelong vitality supplements. So if this class was all about a lifestyle shift for you, maybe even a lifestyle overhaul, this is where you want to go. Just get it all into your house. Do it this way. The next kit, there's been a lot of interest on this one lately. I had considered this one the ultimate sampler kit because while it's hard to tell in the photo, those bottles are actually 5 ml sizes. So most of our bottles are 15 ml. Are you holding? Yeah, Pamela's holding them up right now. Take a look in that. So the ones in this kit are the smaller of the two that she's holding up. It's still a lot of value, about 80 drops in those ones. A little bit smaller diffuser. Powerful little guy though. It runs for up to 10 hours, has a gorgeous light on it, great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And this is 10 of our top selling oils. So this is a nice place to start. Membership is free, just like the previous kit. The Healthy Habits Kit, you guys, if you're attending because you're on that trajectory where you've become a priority in your own life and health and wellness is, nothing else trumps it, then this is a kit that you're really going to want to give some consideration to. Our best-selling product, Lifelong Vitality, is in here. 5 of our favorite oils are digestive enzymes, which we didn't even talk about in this class, but trust me, they're extraordinary. A tube of the Deep Blue Rub, which again, Deep Blue is notorious for being supportive of achy muscles and joints. The one thing I'll point out in this image, if you're watching from the US, your kit comes with PB Assist, which is a probiotic. In Canada, we don't yet have that approved through Health Canada. It's coming very soon, but our kits do not have the probiotic included with them. That's something you should know. But an amazing, amazing starter kit. No membership fee to start with this one. The Healthy Home Kit. I didn't really realize when I started with my oils, I started for a lot of reasons, but one of the main ones was to detox our home. And this kit wasn't available back when I started, but this is certainly one that I would have paid very close attention to. It comes with the diffuser. It comes with a variety of the On Guard products. Important to note, you get the On Guard cleaning concentrate, the hand soap, the sanitizing spray, which is really hard to get lately, the toothpaste, and shampoo and conditioner. This is a beautiful way to overhaul a lot of the toxic products that they do a lot of damage to our immune system. They're compromising a lot of things that we may not have paid attention to in the past. So the Healthy Home Kit, again, no membership fee. And Simple Solutions. This is a tiny little kit. This one is meant for you to be able to customize. So what doTERRA has done is identified 4 key pillars of health. So if you will, the deep blue represents the pillar of pain. Okay, so here's your pain relief. Lemon would be your detox. Okay, On Guard is the protective blend, or your immunity pillar. And then Serenity is our restful blend, and it is what our sleep pillar. Sleep is so important. Some experts are now saying sleep is actually more important than food and exercise. You're not sleeping, you're definitely not doing the other 2 things very well. So this kit was meant for you to have access to the 4 pillars and then add on something that relates to your specific health concern. So recently I've had people purchase this kit and add balance, or add adaptive, which is our mental wellness blend. Not only does adaptive smell like just so good, it is so supportive of everyone in your home. There is no doubt that you witness the transformation when this is diffusing in your home, or when you're using it topically. It's beautiful. So that's a great addition to this kit to customize. Okay. Again, no membership fee. As a member, what are some of the perks? You always know about fun stuff. The fun stuff that's happening, just like at Costco. You wouldn't know what was happening in Costco unless you were a member or had a friend who was a member. You always get a discount on selected products every month, which is great because you build out your collection. If that's of interest to you, it's nice to get a little deeper discount on some of the things. And you're here at a very special class. Pamela was awesome to invite you to this, because this is what we're considering a Diamond Club class. It's sort of like an elite class where, should you decide to get started with one of the kits, you are going to have the joy of having something else added as a thank you. So it is a bottle of Citrus Bliss for orders that are 100 to 299 PV. And I know you're not familiar with PV just yet, but that's something that you can work with Pamela on. And then if you decide to go with like the Natural Solutions Kit, for example, hi Tessa, you're going to be treated to 2 free oils, Citrus Bliss and Adaptive Blend. Again, Adaptive is our mental wellness blend. So definitely this is the place for you to have learned about your oils and to make a decision on how to get started. Now, beyond today's conversation, what I want to let you know is that there is an opportunity with doTERRA as well. And I have just simply left a slide up on the screen because I know time is of the essence here, and I want to make sure that you're able to move on with whatever your day looks like today. But there are a lot of key reasons to give some consideration to doTERRA. So if you're watching this because you want to get started with the oils for personal care, then great. Just stick with looking at the kits. But if you tuned in because you are interested in the oils, plus you also somewhere heard about an opportunity with the business, and you're very good at sharing awesome opportunities with other people, you might want to lean in, read a few of these points, and then certainly follow up with Pamela to better understand what that could look like for you, because there is a lot of financial healing that can happen through doTERRA as well. So I want to say thank you to everyone for listening to this class and for being open-minded about natural solutions. Pamela is one of those people who is always going to provide you with connection to useful information, things that really they apply to everyday life. They certainly apply to where we're at in today's health environment. And she's accessible. She is a mom, and she gets it. She knows that, building in time to invest in yourself is something that is of importance, and time is very precious for sure. So do make sure that you keep those health priorities close to you so that when you guys do connect with one another, you're able to discuss those. Mention the kit that looked the most attractive to you, and maybe that is the best place for you to start, but maybe there's some guidance beyond that. Maybe something you haven't yet considered. But regardless, I'm grateful that you tuned in and listened to the education today. And Pamela and Tess, I don't know, maybe you guys want to say goodbye to everyone before we log off.
Yes, so thank you so much for this. I'm so honored that you were able to jump in here and just educate and help out a fellow mama, because I knew my kids will be, waking up around nap time. So it was awesome that I could have my community and anybody just hear from you. And it was funny because when you were mentioning the oils, I was kind of writing down some of little highlights of my day, and we had already used lavender and frankincense for bruises with I have farm boys, so they are, scrapes, bumps, and bruises always. So it's pretty comforting as a mom to just be able to grab your toolkit, in the kitchen. And tamer, you mentioned that, and that's an oil that we use daily with little kids, and especially toddlers. So I'm just excited that everybody was able to join. And yes, please reach out. I will be available for any questions. The simplest ones or the most complicated ones. We're both here. So thank you so much for just taking your time, Rebecca. I so appreciate it.
Such a joy. Thank you so much. And everyone have a happy and healthy day.
Yes. Bye. Thank you.